네, 기다리고 기다리던 세계지식포럼이 올해 9월 21일부터 9월 22일까지 열렸었는데요. 그 중에 제가 기다리던 더샌드박스 공업 창업자인 세바스찬이 나와 이야기를 나눴는데 오늘 그 이야기를 풀어보고자 합니다. 같이 나온 사람들 중에는 필립 로즈테일이라는 사람이 있는데 그분은 이제 가상세계 세컨드 라이프를 개발한 사람이고요. 그 다음 두 번째 제이슨 브링크라는 이분은 발라게임즈의 회장님이십니다. 세 번째 재학영국님은요 위메이드 이제 대표이신 분이시고요. 마지막 세바스찬과 함께 이 이야기를 만들어 갔습니다.
Metaverse, a virtual world where players can create, play.
인사와 함께 한 질문은요. 첫 번째 질문은 NFT와 블록체인이 가져온 가상세계의 변화였는데요. 우선 같이 한번 보겠습니다.
Innovation does blockchain and NFT bring to gaming and to virtual platforms? I would like to begin with Sébastien Borget, who is the closest here. Yes.
Well, I think like the main innovation that blockchain and NFT has been providing to the video game industry is really the notion of true digital ownership of any content. If you look back at the video game industry for almost 25 years, 30 years now, any content that we bought, whether games were premium or freemium, didn't really belong to us because yes, we could use it in the context of the game, but that's pretty much all we could do with it. We couldn't transfer it to other users. We couldn't use the content or go and sell it on a marketplace like an eBay, etc. That was actually forbidden by most game developers, and even we had to legiferate and regulate it in countries like Japan or Korea. So it's been like mostly renting game items, and we've built a video game industry big of 2.5, 3 billion gamer and worth several hundred of billion of dollars of value on top of closed economic ecosystem where users couldn't really benefit from the value of the digital asset, which they actually spent real money on to acquire. We also never had the ability to have a source of trust in the sense of like who has created an item, who is the owner of that item, and how many digital copy of that item, and the immutability of that item. So you as a player or as a user spending real money to acquire content and having the insurance that that content is going to remain yours and will not be
네, 웹 3.0에서 가장 큰 장점 중 하나인 소유권과 그 가상 아이템과 정체성을 직접 소유할 수 있는 것을 크게 된 우리 변화와 장점이라고 이야기를 하고 있는데요. 두 번째 질문으로 소유권이라는 것이 왜 도대체 중요할까에 대해서 이야기를 나눠봤습니다.
Our mission has been always to empower players to become creators. And to fulfill that mission, we wanted, and we actually faced the challenge that even though people were creators, they couldn't really benefit from the value they generated from their creation. They couldn't receive a fair revenue share for the time they invested into content creation, or the time they invested into playing games, leveling up, earning items, and being rewarded for that. So we faced a challenge that actually impacted our retention. Over the long time, our creators were leaving the platform for other platforms where they could receive a revenue share, and we were limited by the App Store, the Google Play Store, our capability to share a revenue portion of that revenue. When we found about blockchain and NFTs around 2017, we immediately saw that combining user-generated content and NFT would be the solution to that problem, allowing anyone to become a creator and own the content they create as an NFT would solve that and allow them to monetize the content the way they want. But ownership without utility, I think, isn't really meaningful and isn't really to drive value of those items.
네, 지금 보시면은 옛날 사용자 입장에서 봤을 때 개발자나 또는 그걸 사용하는 사용자나 앱스토어 이런 구글이나 애플 같은 것들의 영향을 많이 받기 때문에 억압되어 있는 부분에서 지금은 이제 그것을 벗어나서 자신만의 크리에이터적인 부분을 또 만들 수 있는 소프트웨어나 이런 것들을 제공해서 수익을 얻고 이런 과정들이 의미 있는 것이다 라고 답했습니다. 그 다음 세 번째 질문은요, 상호작용하는 것에 확보하는 것이 실질적으로 가능하느냐? 라는 질문이었는데요. 그리고 네 번째 이어서 질문이, P2E 게임에 대한 의견이었습니다. 네, 지금 보시는 의견은 간단하게 보시고요. 네, 이야기를 한번 알아보겠습니다.
Sebastian. So, like Philip said and Jason before, like we're still very early on in interoperability, and even though it sounds very exciting and promising, comes with a lot of challenges. We are seeing some progress overall in the industry. There's been recently the announcement of the Metaverse Standard Forum, which is trying to solve those topics of interoperability, but they are taking it from a very centralized perspective and from a very low-level perspective of just like file format interoperability, just how we're even going to interpret file format and representation of content between centralized applications predominantly, even though they started to open toward Web3 applications. Recently, we launched the Open Metaverse Alliance. I announced that in a conference last July with leading actor of Web3, and we're already taking more into consideration some aspect of interoperability around the notion as well as identity, avatar reputation, how you not just bring the models, the content, but you also think about like all the achievement that you've acquired as you play one game. You want to arrive into another game with people recognizing those achievements and content. It's very relevant. At the sandbox level, I think we're also trying to contribute as much as possible to this concept of interoperability as early as possible. And we've done two things. One is the content creation tool at Sandbox. They are not limited only to Sandbox. VoxEdit, our 3D editor, can output like voxel format and GLTF animation. And we're seeing the content and assets that's been made by those creators already being used across a wide range of other applications, including mobile AR app like OVR, Jadoo, Genie, FlickPlay, and every day I discover new ones. And also the second element is like we've been working hard to enable external NFTs to be displayed, interacted, played with, and come to life in Sandbox. So if any art images can be displayed already in Sandbox, that's great. That's been seen in Decentraland, in Protovoxel, and a few other decentralized world also. But with the no-code game maker tool in Sandbox, you start adding a lot more richness and context around it. And the most powerful use of interoperability that we've showcased in recently, 3 weeks ago, with the season 3 of Sandbox, has been the ability for people to play with 13 most popular NFT collection that we transform from 2D static images into 3D playable characters. And that's, I think, one of the leading points of the Open Metaverse. Like, we're a platform, we provide creation tools, virtual worlds, or spaces where people can come. We do not necessarily need to create the characters ourselves. The characters will actually come from all around the ecosystem. Bored Ape, Clonex, Cool Cats, Cyberkongs are one of those 13 collections. And the results, the engagement from people who came with their NFT and played with for the first time, where they were just 2D collectible images before, has been amazing. Like, we're seeing like double retention metrics. People use it to connect with other members of the community and see each other in the context of playing, progressing, and earning. And that transpires in Sandbox, but also over social media, as they are like proudly sharing key moments of them interacting with their avatar, which become their new representation. The beauty of it is those avatars, they are totally non-human for most of cases. They are creatures, animals. The community in Web3 is so creative, so imaginative that it's like, I think for me, it's the best representation of what interoperability means.
Thank you, Henry.
I think that
I don't agree more, actually. Like, for me, play and earn, it's just we look at play and earn from the angle of like how we are creating opportunity through diverse skills. So not only like repeating action and the same action over and over, for people to be empowered through this medium, through our game, and the creator economy more particularly that Second Life has initiated. You mentioned over 23 years ago already at massive scales. You've been one of the pioneers that made the world realize that people could actually make a living and have a job in virtual world. And I think like Sandbox is also reflective of that, and we're seeing people who've had like a real positive impact, like they discovered they had valuable skills into those virtual world environment that were maybe not that valuable in the real world. And to me, that's one of the benefits here of blockchain and play and earn in general, like making a positive impact that grows value back into the real world based on, like you said, like not zero-sum game, but creative net positive.
네, 이 모든 의견들을 종합적으로 보면 샌드박스는 처음에 시작에 평등성 그리고 누구에게나 제공되는 크리에이티브한 소프트웨어를 제공함으로써 얻는 수많은 가치들, 이것이 앞으로의 메타버스가 갖는 키워드가 될 것이라고 생각하는 것 같은데요. 그리고 여태 있던 2.0, 웹 2.0 기업들이 이제 3.0으로 이동하려고 하는 시도들이 보이는데, 이것을 할 때 미리 앞서서 우리 샌드박스나 여러 가지 있는 가치 있으신 분들이 얘기하셨던 종합적으로 얘기를 들어보면 그런 이제 인식들을 자체적으로 웹 2.0에 있던 그런 버릇들을 버리고 새롭게 크리에이터분들한테 마음을 열고 소통하고 그리고 많은 것들을 제공해라, 그거에 대해서 아끼지 마라 라고 이야기를 했습니다. 네, 앞으로 어떻게 이렇게 변할지는 아직 정확하게 모르지만 이 메타버스에 대해서 기대해보면서 기다려보도록 하겠습니다. 네, 더 좋은 영상으로 찾아뵙도록 하겠습니다. 구독, 좋아요는 영상을 만드는데 큰 힘이 됩니다. 감사합니다.